Welcome, everyone, to episode 36 of Around the Book podcast. Today is going to be our hodgepodge day of there's nothing really exciting going on for the weekend. No Kentucky Derby, no draft, nothing. So we do have NBA playoffs. We have some NHL playoffs. So there's going to be plenty to bet on. Don't worry about that. I do want to point out I did hit one of my futures from back in October. Jokic MVP. A lot of people are going to say he didn't deserve it, but you know what? The funds showed up in my FanDuel account, so I'm not even mad about it. So he won MVP. I'll take that future. That's my second future I've hit the past 2 months, so I'm rolling a little bit in those. And then Ellie added another 2 steals to his steal total, so I think he's at 21 right now. He was the first player to 20 this year. So that's looking decent. Knock on wood. I'm not going to go too crazy about that, so we'll just move on. Who wants to get us started? I guess we'll just start with NASCAR again. I feel like we'll just go our normal route here of what we're betting on. Dalton, Jake, anyone want to start on NASCAR for us or any other type of motorsports by chance?
I can start off with NASCAR. I got so this week we're at Darlington. I've been getting just brutally murdered on my NASCAR picks lately. Like it's been bad. So I'm kind of easing up. I only got 2 picks this week. One that I feel really good about is Chevy as the winning manufacturer this week at plus 140. Chevy has won the last 3 races at Darlington. It just feels like a really safe bet, especially right now where, the only Ford driver that feels capable of winning any given week is Logano. So you're really down to mostly the Hendrick guys and the Gibbs guys, which drive Toyotas. So it's really kind of down to Chevy and Toyota. And I feel like at this track, I like the Hendrick drivers a little bit more. So I'm taking Chevy at plus 140. And then I'm also going for my outright winner. I am taking William Byron at plus 750. He's done well at this track. He won this race last May. And even later on in the year, when he finished top 4 last year at this race. And I believe the race before that, he had another top 10. So he's finished 4th, 1st, and 8th in the last 3 races at Darlington. So I think he's a really safe bet at plus 750. Really good value at Darlington.
Oh, yeah. Jake, you got anything for the Goodyear 400?
Yeah, I got 2 picks. There's no F1 this weekend, so I decided to indulge. I don't have that much NASCAR knowledge, so I kind of just look for like names that I know as really good drivers that have good odds. And so I got 2 picks this week. I got Kyle Busch to win at plus 1,500 and Joey Logano to win at plus 2,200. If their odds are that high because they're not good at this track, then maybe I'm wrong there. But I do recognize those 2 as pretty good drivers, and I feel like with those odds, it's worth putting a couple of dollars on.
Like it. Yeah. I'm going to go with if it's not broke, if it's broke, I don't know. What the hell is the saying? If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
If it's broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. If it's broke, fix it or don't fix it. Yeah. Whatever the hell it is. I don't know why I'm so confused on that right now. Anyways, Kyle Larson, top 3 finish. Plus 110. I think the bookies are starting to catch on that this is free money because I got it 2 weeks ago at like plus 180 something. And then I got it last week at like plus 145. And now it's at plus 110. But it's still plus. So I'm going to go Kyle Larson, top 3 finish. That's going to be my only pick. Like I said, it's been hitting. So I'm just going to ride it until it loses. So that is my only pick for NASCAR this weekend. All right. So let's get into PGA then. I can start us off. So we got the Wells Fargo Championship this weekend, and last weekend the PGA was a joke. Siwoo Kim, he didn't finish top 10, and he was looking good the whole time until the last day. And then Jordan Spieth just fell out. He didn't even make it to the last day, I don't think. So, like, it was terrible. But we bounced back. We're going to go with another 2 to finish top 10. And for this one, I have Rory McIlroy and Colin Morikawa. That's at plus 494. Now, you're not going to get great value with Rory at top 10 because he's at minus 125. But where the value's coming in is Colin Morikawa at plus 230. I did take both of them straight up at top 10 and I also parlayed it. So you're getting it at plus 494.
I like it. So for Wells Fargo this week, I'm trying my parlay strategy again this week. Last week, I went 3 for 5. Almost hit the big one. I had one guy finish 2 strokes out of the top 20 and another one finished 3 strokes out, but all 5 of them were in the mix heading into the last day. I think Adam Scott and Maverick McNeely just couldn't get it done. Staying away from those guys, but I am betting a lot of the same guys I bet on last week. So again, I have 5 picks in a parlay to finish top 20. I've got Sahith Theegala at plus 105. He's been playing excellent golf, especially at the signature events. He's finished really high, pretty much all of them, several top 10s. I really like him this week. Very consistent. Speaking of consistent, 2 other guys, actually 3 other guys that are just known for their consistency and have been playing really good, consistent golf lately, making a lot of cuts, staying around the top 20 mix. I got Byung-Hun An at plus 140, Siwoo Kim at plus 115, and Hideki Matsuyama at plus 115. I know, Casey, you're not too happy with Kim right now, but I had him to finish top 20 last week, and he did that. Yeah, those are some of the guys that I think are really safe. And then my big odds booster for this parlay this week is Jake Knapp at plus 260. He's been kind of a hot pick this weekend. I think I don't like him to go on a huge run. Like, I don't think he's going to be a threat to win, but I do think he's going to have a good tournament this week. The way he hits the ball long benefits him this week. And so I think he is a really solid pick for this week. So all 5 of those guys together parlayed is at plus 8,087. So $10 bet pays out at 818. So I feel like I really like the value again this week. Even more so than last week. Even though the payout's the same, I feel a lot better about these 5.
Yeah.
I like it. I got a couple PGA picks. I'm also taking Colin Morikawa. I like him to win at plus 2,500. I feel like that's pretty solid value. He had a pretty rough stretch, I think about a month ago, but over the last couple events, he's been doing pretty well. He tied for 3rd at the Masters and 9th at the RBC Heritage. So he's been putting together some impressive performances over the last couple tournaments after that little rough stretch. But I do like him at plus 2,500. I think it's worth a couple dollars for someone who's gonna. I mean, I'd be surprised if he wasn't at least close to the top on the last day because he's been pretty consistent as of late. And then I also like Wyndham Clark. I like him to win at plus 1400. I think it's pretty solid value. And I also like him at top 10 at plus 160. I feel like that's kind of a lock. He's been playing pretty well recently. I think he's got a win this year, and I know he has a couple top fives, like second or thirds, I think. He kind of over the last few weeks has slumped a little bit, but he's still been playing pretty good golf, and I think plus 1400 is solid value for him. And then my last pick is definitely more of a long shot, but I like Taylor Pendrith at plus 10,000 to win, and even plus 750 for the top 10. He was, I think he won it last week. I know it was between him and somebody else at the end, but coming off a great weekend last week, and I think 10,000 is good odds for the win, but I really like the plus 750 for him to land in the top 10. I feel like that's pretty solid value.
Yeah.
Especially with how good he did. Now he could kind of fall off the map after winning last week. I feel like that happens a lot with guys who have like a really good performance out of nowhere. But I think at least the top 10 is pretty good value.
Yeah, I like that. All right, so that's our golf for the week. I guess we'll move on to MLB just because the other few sports we have left have playoffs, and I know Dalton's got some lacrosse for us. Actually, Dalton, if you want to go ahead with your lacrosse bet.
Oh, all right. I was gonna say I came prepared for MLB this week too.
All right, we'll go MLB next. But let's hear your lacrosse pick for this week.
So this is the NCAA tournament for lacrosse this weekend. So this is the opening weekend, Saturday and Sunday, of lacrosse's NCAA. It starts at the round of 16. So we got 8 games this weekend, and I just did 8 straight money lines picks, and I parlayed them together. So what I got this week, I got Virginia money line against St. Joe's. It's minus 600, pretty much a lock. St. Joseph's doesn't really have any chance here. Same for Duke against Utah at minus 2,200. Those are pretty much locks. They don't really do much to add to the value of the parlay, but you might as well throw them in. Then it gets interesting with Michigan and Denver. I'm taking Michigan minus 115 against Denver. They've kind of come out of nowhere, but they are playing great lacrosse. I mean, they spanked Penn State in the Big Ten championship this past weekend. I mean, just whooped their ass. It was brutal. I turned it off at like 15-3. It was brutal. And Penn State's arguably a top 10 team in the country.
Yeah.
Or at least they were before that game. And then to wrap up Saturday, I'm taking Maryland plus 105 against Princeton. Maryland was my national championship future pick at the beginning of the year, so I'm still riding with Maryland. I know they haven't looked great lately, but they play their best lacrosse in May. So I think they're going to beat Princeton, who I don't think's great. And then on Sunday, we're going to take Johns Hopkins at minus 675 to beat Lehigh. That's a lock. And then we got Penn State minus 166 against Georgetown. This is probably the game I feel the least safe about, just because Penn State, again, did not look great against Michigan. I think that demoralizing loss should wake them up. But they've just been so streaky, even within games, that I feel like a team like Georgetown could catch them. But we're going to stick with it because Penn State, ultimately, I do think is the more talented team. And then we're going to go Notre Dame minus 15,000 to beat Albany. I mean, that's a lock. Albany just won the play-in game to get into this one. The one that really boosts the odds, though, is Towson plus 320 to beat Syracuse. Because, again, Syracuse crumbles in the tournament. They're just not a real contender anymore. They haven't been for over a decade. They're the USC of college lacrosse. Constantly overrated. Everyone says they're back every year, and they never are. So those 8 picks parlay together at plus 3,536. So $5 bet pays out at 181. So that's what I got for NCAA lacrosse this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
JT would be so mad about that minus $15,000 or minus 15,000 odd pick if he was here.
It's
like the
I'm just picking all the
anti-JT pick.
games. It doesn't
Yeah.
really affect it at all. But it's not like Notre Dame's gonna lose that game.
Yeah. You say that.
If Notre Dame loses to Albany, I will literally eat my microphone on camera. I will
All right.
literally eat it.
I hope everybody listening
it.
heard that.
Yeah.
I will literally put it in a pot, boil it, and eat it like soup.
Nah, dude, you gotta munch on that thing. Raw dog.
Raw dog. Oh man.
All right. Speaking of raw dogs, let's get into baseball here.
Oh yeah.
All right. I'm gonna start off with a 3-leg parlay for tomorrow. As much as this one pains me to do, because I have a feeling it's gonna lose. The first leg is the Reds money line. The Reds have been absolute dog shit the past 7 days or 7 games. They're 0-7. I think they have a minus 29 run differential in the last 7 games. They've scored like 10 points total in the last 7 games, or 10 runs total in the last 7 games. It is terrible, but you know what that means? They're due. So, Reds money line is the first one. I got Seattle Mariners plus 1.5 against the Twins. And then I'm going to end it off with the Giants money line against the Rockies. If you parlay those together, it's at plus 337. Hopefully the Reds don't fuck this up if you trail me. So that's what I have for my MLB parlay for tomorrow. And Hunter Green's going for the Reds tomorrow, and he's been pretty good the last few outings. High volume strikeouts, so hopefully another repeat performance. All right, Dalton, let's hear this. I know you said you did some research.
I mean, I made picks.
Okay.
I didn't so there, other than looking at the standings and looking at some recent results, that was about as much research as I did. But I do have a 3-game parlay for tomorrow. DraftKings actually gave me a bonus bet.
Oh, nice.
So I have $20 on this parlay. But I got Astros money line at plus 110 to beat the Yankees because fuck the Yankees.
Yeah, fuck the Yankees.
That's it. Fuck the Yankees. That's the
Yeah.
only rationale I have for that.
Yeah.
And then Cardinals Brewers. I am taking Cardinals minus 108 money line, mostly because the Cardinals
Fuck the Brewers. That's why.
well, that and also the Cardinals have lost so much lately. Like at some point, this losing streak has to end. And they got Lance Lynn pitching, who is technically undefeated this year. Lance Lynn, right now, his record this year is 1-0 in 5 games pitched. So he's 1-0 because he pitches 5 innings and then they lose. That's basically what happens. He pitches 5 okay innings and then they lose, but it's not his fault. So say he pitches a little bit more. He actually has been pitching pretty well this year. For him. So I like that one. And then finally to wrap things up, I got Giants money line at minus 162 to beat the Rockies on the road because the Colorado Rockies are just bad at baseball. I feel like betting against the Rockies is just safe. So that's what I got. Those 3 picks parlayed together are at plus 554. So because I put 5 on the parlay, but then with the bonus bet, it's a $20 bonus bet. So it's bet $20 to win 110.
There we go.
Nice.
Yeah, and I feel like none of those are crazy.
No. But those are the ones that just the ones where I feel like I'm playing it safe. Those are the ones that always like, nah.
Are any of those bets dumb?
No, I like them
You
all.
guys-
I mean,
No,
I,
I like him.
I have the
Baseball,
Giants.
baseball more.
No, I have the Giants tomorrow. I also think, I mean, the Astros are not being the Astros as of what we've known the past few years, but
You
Finally.
can't bet on the Yankees.
yeah, you just can't bet on the Yankees.
Fuck
Yeah.
the Yankees.
Yeah, fuck the Yankees and Brewers. I mean, where's that game at?
I think the game's in Milwaukee.
All right.
But
That
with the
one might be
Cardinals won,
tough,
that could
but-
be a good thing.
Yeah, true. So I don't know. I like it. I mean, I like it. I didn't only bet on the Giants game with you, but I would do the other two for sure.
Need some Goldie bombs tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. I got a MLB parlay too.
All right.
I'm starting it with the Reds minus 1.5 run line at plus 164.
Oh my gosh.
Woo-hoo. I know the Reds are struggling because I've been seeing Casey's tweets.
Yes.
Not been sounding good, but the Diamondbacks, after their run to the World Series last year, have also been struggling.
Yeah.
I think they were like 14-20 last time I checked. And Hunter Green has had a pretty solid year from what I've seen. So plus 164 at home to just win by 2 runs, I feel like it's pretty good value, especially since Arizona, at least, I feel like has been struggling as much as Cincinnati has. So even though Cincinnati hasn't been that great recently, Arizona's having some problems as well. So I think plus 164 is pretty good value for that. I've also got the Mariners money line at plus 110 against the Twins. Seattle started the year off pretty rough. But they've been on a heater recently. I'm not sure how many they've won in like the last 10, but I'm pretty sure they're like 7-3 or 8-2 in their last 10. They lead the AL West by a couple of games, so they've been doing pretty well. And just gonna ride the hot hand here. They got plus 110 odds against the Twins, so some decent value there. I feel pretty safe about that one. I'm not too worried. And then I got the Guardians minus 1.5 runs at plus 114 against the White Sox. The White Sox are really bad. The Guardians are actually pretty solid. They're always I feel like they're always sneaky good. Like no one really expects much from them, and then they end up being pretty solid, which isn't too hard in the AL Central, but plus value on them to win by 2 runs against arguably the worst team in the league. I'm always going to take that. And then my last pick is the Royals minus 1.5 at plus 142 against the Angels. The Royals have also been surprisingly good this year. They've been on a good streak recently, and the Angels are last in the AL West right now, which even though they weren't supposed to be good, I don't think people thought they would be as bad as they are necessarily. And plus 142 for Kansas City to just win by 2 runs feels pretty safe to me and like pretty good value. I know one of these is going to come back to bite me in the ass because that's always how it goes. But yeah, I like the Reds, Mariners, Guardians, and Royals tomorrow.
Yeah. The Guardians remind me of like the A's when they had like Matt Olson and them when they were winning. Like,
Yeah.
Like they were good, but they weren't like the Yankees or the like they weren't like the big name. So like everyone's just like, whatever.
Yeah, they do the Moneyball method, but a little bit less cheap. Like they will actually spend a bit of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're always just there at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. We'll go with NHL next. I do have a parlay for tomorrow's games. I don't have anything for tonight. I know the Panthers are just taking it to the Bruins right now. It's 6-1.
Damn, it was 3-1 right before the show.
Yeah. It is 6-1 with
Holy
8 minutes
fuck.
left in the third period. And then what'd you say you had on you have the over what now on that Pacers and Knicks game?
I took it at over 222.5.
Ooh, that'll
You're
hit.
at you're at
That'll hit
199
for-
with you're at 199 with a minute and a half, or 9 minutes and a half and 30 seconds left.
Yeah, that's
So
safe.
Yeah, the
I would
live-
honestly keep betting it at even at over 244. I'd consider it.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'm-
say the over right
I'm not
now
going
is
to.
240. So
I
Yeah.
mean, I think
220
the
feels
first
pretty
team
good.
to 120 is probably going to win that game.
yeah. All right. So I'm going to get my NHL parlay here. It's nothing crazy. It's only a plus 167. But I have the Stars money line against the Avalanche. And then I have the Rangers plus 1.5 against Carolina. I think the Rangers are playing really good right now, and to give them points, I'm just going to have to take it. I mean, it's stupid not to, especially if you're going to parlay it. So that's at plus 167. We'll see. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. It feels pretty safe, but you know how those go.
Yeah.
yeah, I took the over in both of the NHL games tomorrow. The Rangers Hurricanes is at 5.5, which I'm pretty sure both of the first two games have gone over that. And
yeah,
then
both were 4-3.
yeah, and then the Stars Avalanche is at 6.5, but both of those teams score a lot of goals, and they went over that last night. So I feel pretty good about those.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that. Dalton, you have any hockey picks for tomorrow?
No, I'm still like afraid to bet NHL until the Rangers get eliminated. I'm just like
okay.
that Ranger because right now I'm just waiting for that Rangers money line or that Rangers future to either hit or fall apart. We'll see.
Yeah,
But I don't know. Right now I'm feeling good about that pick. You know, their games have been close this series, but they're 2-0.
yeah.
We'll see. No, but I do get some NBA if we want to move on to that.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into NBA. That's all I have left is some NBA. So,
Same.
all right, I guess we'll end the show with NBA. If you want to go ahead and Dalton get us kicked off.
All right. So NBA, I got 2 picks for tomorrow and then 1 pick for Friday because I'm still working the system. Just parlay whatever games, the results for whatever games that night, parlay them, throw 5 on it. Now's when you can kind of start chipping away at the smaller stuff. So tomorrow we've got 2 games. I'm taking Celtics minus 13.5 at minus 108 against the Cavs. So the Celtics have been fantastic at home so far in the playoffs this year. They have covered 13.5 in all but 1 game. And then even that one, they beat the Heat by 7. And I think, they beat the Heat by 10. And the Cavs have only covered 13.5 on the road 1 time so far this playoffs. And they lost to Orlando by 10, I think. Or by 7. They lost to Orlando by 7, yeah. So I really think, especially with what we saw in game 1, I don't think the Celtics are going to have any problem beating Cleveland by 20 again at home. So until this series goes back to Cleveland, feel free to keep betting on Boston to win comfortably by double digits. And then the other game for that night, I'm taking the over 218.5 in the Mavericks Thunder game. I know it was a little more low scoring in game 1, but I think that's just because Dallas didn't have a great shooting night. So far this year, in the rest of the matchups between these 2 teams, every other matchup has gone over 218.5. So I think game 1 was kind of a fluke. I think we'll see a lot more scoring in game 2. And parlaying those together, it's at plus 267. So you can almost triple your money on that. And then for Friday, we just have the one game, so pretty easy. I'm just taking the Timberwolves minus 4.5 against the Nuggets at minus 108. I don't really get this line, given what Minnesota has done in games 1 and 2 in Denver. For this series to go back to Minnesota and for them to be less than a 5-point favorite feels very wrong. It's almost concerningly wrong, but I'm gonna take it because it really feels like free money. I don't know. What do you guys got?
So I kind of went opposite of you on that Cavs pick. The only reason, and I think the Cavs will get, I think Boston's going to win the series in 5. I think the Cavs will get 1, and I think it's going to be tomorrow. But I'm going to take the 13.5 points on this one. I understand your stat here of they don't cover on the road in the playoffs. I understand that, but they did it once. What's to say they can't do it a second time? So I'm taking the Cavs plus 13.5. And then I'm going to, and this is basically an underdog parlay because I'm also taking the Mavs at plus 5 against the Thunder tomorrow. When I had the inspiration for the Cavs, I was like, let me just do underdog here. That's why I took Dallas. Luka might play pissed off because he didn't get that MVP award tonight. Who knows? He might go for 50 plus. That might be a bet for tomorrow. So, fuck, 50 plus points from Luka tomorrow. If you parlay the Cavs plus 13.5 and Dallas plus 5, you're at plus 267.
Let's see if you can even get that as a player prop.
You should be able to.
You should be able to. It'd probably be pretty good odds too.
You can only do plus or 40 plus points. Luka plus 550. We're hitting it.
That actually feels like pretty good.
I'm only getting plus 320 for 40
really?
plus.
40 plus on FanDuel. He's at 550. SGA is at 850.
Wow.
Imagine both of them getting snubbed in the freaking MVP. Oh my gosh. All right, guys, we're going to do something very irresponsible. Oh, do I do it?
What, for them to both go over 40?
If you parlay it, it's at plus 4,096.
I'll go in with you on it.
You just drop like $5 on it or something.
Okay, I will.
Because I realistically actually don't think it's that crazy that they both scored.
No, I think
I
it's
don't either. Oh my god, guys, we're doing this. All right, we're doing it. I'm gonna straight bet it on both of them, and I'm gonna parlay it together. That'll cover all my betting and some if at least one.
DraftKings won't let me parlay it.
Are you serious?
That's stupid.
Some of those like
I almost don't want to do it.
Yeah, some of those unique player props, it never lets me parlay it for some reason.
All right, don't say that, Dalton. You just put some negativity in the air. I already parlayed it. The bet's already in.
All right, I'll straight bet them.
All right.
I'll straight bet them both.
All right. So, yeah, those are my picks. Jake, what do you got for tomorrow?
I got Cavs plus 13.5. I want to throw $1 on their money line at plus 625, but Celtics have just been too dominant. They I feel like the Celtics take their foot off the gas sometimes, though. They had that one game against the Heat where they lost at home after blowing them out the game before. And Cleveland, it ended up not being close, but Cleveland did hold that game pretty close for up until I think the fourth quarter in game 1. So 13.5 feels like a lot of points. The Celtics totally could win by 25 and I'll look stupid, but I feel like the Cavs can lose by like 11 in game 2. And then I've also got the Dallas Mavericks money line at plus 170 against the Thunder. this is another game that was close for most of it and then turned into a blowout at the end. But I think this is going to be a closer series than Game 1 showed. And a team with Luka and Kyrie against the Thunder. The Thunder are playing well for a team that is really their first time in the playoffs. They don't look like scared of the moment or anything, but I really trust Luka and Kyrie in the playoffs. And I don't think Dallas wins this series, but I think it's going to go to like 6 or 7 at least. So at plus 170, it feels like decent value for the Mavericks money line there. And then I also grabbed one series prop, and it's the Nuggets to win the series against the Timberwolves at plus 400. This also could look stupid because they got manhandled in game 2. It wasn't even close. But 400 just feels like decent. It's only 2-0. It's if they win game 3, they're only down by 1 in the series. So I wouldn't count them out yet. They are the defending champions. And they have the MVP on their team. So at plus 400, it feels like decent value, and things haven't gone their way so far, but they know how to get it done in these scenarios. So I think it's pretty decent value for them.
Yeah.
I like that Mavs pick. I thought about taking the Mavs money line. I'm just scared of the Thunder right now, but
Yeah.
that Cavs game, I get what you guys are saying. I also said the same thing in game 1. And when
Why do I-
Cleveland plus 12 in game 1.
Why is it always like Dalton, the voice of reason, and then like me and
I
Jake
know.
always like opposing his bet, but then we all lose somehow.
Yeah, somehow none of us are going to win on this.
Like what's going to happen is Boston's going to cover 13.5, and then
It'll be a
It's
push
gonna-
somehow.
Boston's going to cover the 13.5, and then freaking it's going to go under, and the freaking Thunder are just going to blow them out.
The NBA will find a way to give Cleveland will be down 14, and they'll somehow get a half point at the end of the game.
Yeah. So
First half point in NBA history.
Yep.
The day
The
after.
ball, a buzzer beater shot, and the ball get like stuck in between like
yeah.
will
Dude,
get,
people-
stuck in the net. And they'll
The
say,
betting world would lose their minds if that happened. Like if that, I know that would never happen, but if like it somehow did happen, people would go
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
well, yeah, I mean, it'd be fixed.
Gosh, dude, the Panthers just took it to them.
Yeah.
That's bad.
I saw the end of that Bruins game 7. Like I was like, I was in a hotel in Maryland that weekend, wrestling, and I like was like fading in and out, falling asleep, and I like woke up in time to see that like right before they scored the game winner in overtime. That was wild. That third period.
Yeah, it was funny because the Leafs scored with I think like 9 minutes left to go up 1-0. And I was thinking, I was like, is this really the time? Like they're gonna do it?
Everyone in
literally,
that
like,
arena thought that too.
30 seconds later, the Bruins tied it. Like
Yep.
literally so
Yep.
fast. But I was thinking, I was like, this could, because I bet the Leafs in a parlay too. So I was like, oh my God, like it's finally going to happen. And then 30 seconds later, the Bruins
Nope.
scored, and I already knew exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah.
They
And they
hung
had
around
that-
for a while,
They had that
but-
one chance, and like the last second, like they had a
Mhm.
shot that got deflected on net with like 1 second left and almost went in.
And yeah, when,
Yeah.
that was probably when I was like fading out. I was very much like I saw like the end of the middle third, and then kind of faded, and then I woke up like into overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really just the Dallas Cowboys of hockey.
Oh my
I
god!
feel like
I think
like
it
big,
was,
big,
like,
famous
7.
team, and they just don't win
Yeah.
for some reason. They just can't get out of the first round.
How
And even
many
last year,
straight
they got out of the
series
first
have-
round and they got swept.
How many straight series have the Bruins won now against the Leafs?
I don't know.
It's like
It's a
7. I
lot.
think.
Congratulations on the over. It has officially hit.
Nice.
You had 222.5, right?
Yep.
Yep, it's at 127 right now. Or 227, sorry. All right.
So here I have it.
Oh,
So I
here
just
you
saw
go.
something about 1949.
Oh my God.
But I think, or no, 19. So like, is it 1941? The last time the Leafs beat the Bruins in a playoff series? That can't be right.
What year did you say?
I saw something about 19. Oh no, I'm sorry, 1959. 59. Yep.
Gosh, dude. I don't even think my dad was born yet.
And the Bruins have now beaten the Leafs in in the last 7 series they've played since. The Bruins have won 7 series in a row against the Leafs in the playoffs. That is wild.
Well, maybe next year. Isn't that what they always say? There's always next year.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
All right.
So nothing else? Nothing, anything crazy? Dalton, any?
No, nothing
All right.
weird.
All right, guys. Well, I guess we'll go ahead with the show tonight then. Maybe we'll have something weird for you next week. We'll see.
Yeah.
Also,
Maybe some water polo Olympics
Yeah.
features.
yeah, if we can get some Olympics futures, we'll go over those. Guys, I'm telling you, Luka and SGA plus 40, both of them 40 plus points tomorrow, plus 4,096. I mean, they're both just going to play out of their mind, I think.
Yeah.
So,
It's basically going to be them playing one-on-one against each other.
yeah. They're like,
That's going
I
to be
deserve it.
basically that.
Yeah. So,
Jason Kidd might actually tell everyone else on the team, just lock off every other player.
Yeah.
It's just gonna let Luka cook.
They should just like mutually agree before the game to just play
A one-on-one.
of 4 quarters of 1-on-1.
1v1, bro.
Yeah. So
Instead of playing in Oklahoma City, they go to the Rust Call of Duty map.
yeah. Snipers, quick scope only.
Scopes, interventions only.
Yeah. Quick scopes only. Knives. All right. We're getting to the loopy part of the show here. We'll go.
This always happens around like the 40-minute mark.
Yeah.
We like run out of bets, and they were like, all right, now what's weird's going on in our lives?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to end the show. Thank you all for watching again. Episode 36. We'll see you guys next week, 9:30 Eastern for episode 37. And we're all going to be super rich when Luka and SGA go off tomorrow night. Bye.
Yep.